Good morning, everybody, or good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're consuming this. I'm here with my longtime Yadro teacher, great friend, great martial artist, Sensei Nicklaus Suino, and we're going to do PKCC. We are just finishing 90 hard. And so we usually do 75 hard, and I'll let you frame that up why we decided to do 90 hard, Sensei. But we just wanted to share some thoughts with everybody about doing this type of thing, what it does for you, and the people we do it with. So normally it's called 75 hard. We did 90 hard. How do you want to frame that up, Sensei?
Yeah, well, listen, what you said, if you remember, and I remember correctly, this is the fourth time we've done one of these.
Yeah.
And always trying, whether it's in martial arts, in life, in business, in adventure, always trying to make things a little more interesting, a little more difficult. And so I figured, what the hell? 75 days, we've done it three times, we proved we could do it. Let's make it a little bit longer. At the same time, I manipulated some of the other parameters. So, longer. I'm a little less strict I was a little less strict this time on some things. Instead of trying to drink a gallon of water a day, I was requiring myself to drink 2 liters of water a day. Um, I have a protein forward diet. I didn't eat any any sweets, um, anything like bread, rice, potatoes. Actually, I had 3 French fries in 90 days, I think. Um, but I let myself, for example, if I were really craving some chicken or something, and a chicken had to happen to have a coating on it, I would go ahead and eat that. I wasn't limiting myself on that. Haven't had an alcoholic beverage since December 31st. Um, and I have exercised more than a human being should ever exercise in 90 days, as I know you have. But that has become kind of normal to us, and I think that's going to be one of the themes of our conversation today.
Yeah, I did all the same things. Um, I didn't really relax. The thing I always relax on now is the selfie. Like for me,
Mm.
I do a couple selfies, but I just don't do it every single day. And I understand the need to do the selfie for people who are they're right. They're trying to really like do something. I'm not like the change in my physique over the last 5 years has not really been, although there is in 90 days, there's a change. But So I just didn't do the selfies. I drank the stuff. I did the outdoor, indoor, plus. I did all the stuff. This time I read a lot more than I read the last times. I really enjoy. I usually had two books on the go at any given time, one like physical book and one audio book that I was consuming. So I know this time I read way more than 10 pages a day. It was probably somewhere around 50 pages a day I was reading. And I loved it. That's one of the things I'm going to maintain going forward. I'm just going to continue to read a lot more and scroll on my phone a lot less.
Love it. Love it. Yeah, the way my schedule works anymore, I don't really have time or the inclination to read physical books anymore, but I've been listening to a lot, and I don't know what the number is, probably 5 books in 90 days. Maybe I'm on 6 or 7 now. I'm not exactly sure. But yeah, super productive. Got some really interesting reading, some good lessons. Uh, uh, no selfies, but because I'm on social media so much, there's plenty of pictures out of me. But interestingly, you mentioned changes in physique. Last year when we did this, a 75 hard, I lost about 12 pounds during the 75 hard. And then at that time, I was really interested in staying lean or getting even leaner and ended up dropping. This was early 2024. I ended up dropping 18 pounds. And then we did our mountain hike, and I wanted to stay that light for the hike to help with the high altitude. And then I relaxed a little bit. Um, I didn't lose any weight this time. I'm eating a lot more. I'm a lot more protein forward. I stopped my 14-hour fast, which I want to chat about a little bit. But basically, I'm right where I was when I started, which is right now about 10 pounds lighter than I was in December of 2023. So I think this is, unless I'm really making an effort, and I will work to lose another 6 to 8 pounds before our Wyoming hike this year, but maybe we'll see how it goes. Uh, yeah, for whatever reason, where I am now, I eat this much, conscious about trying to maintain the right ratios, working out a lot, and this is right where I am. I feel great, so I'm not going to change that.
Yeah, last year I went down to I was at 141, which is way too late. You know, like I was still pretty strong. Like I wouldn't say like at 141 um in karate or BJJ when I was fighting, I just felt like my body when people would hit me or do stuff didn't have the same type of. And so this year one of my goals was to eat a lot more
Hmm.
body weight, which I did. Like I'm this morning stepped on the scale, I was 151. I think I was 150, so I'm actually 1 pound heavier. But I will say that's one of the things I learned is that my physique went through the same minor changes that it always does when we do this 75 hard. And so if people are wondering, oh, well, what is that? You always look the same. You know your body better than anybody else. So where I notice is like my lower abs and my abdominals start to get like very veiny, like vascular on my abs. Um, my deltoids like start to get super veiny in my delts. Um, and that to me just indicates that drop body weight. I did actually get leaner. Like I wrung fluid out of my system and maybe some of that subcutaneous fat that you build up that you never see. So yeah, I don't know that I'm ever going to do it quite the same way again. This time I really was conscious about how many intensive workouts I did in a row. Um, I can get pretty compulsive about that and feel like I'm not making gains if I'm not like laying on the ground on the verge of puking after every workout session. Sometimes I just came in and did like a pokey hour and 15 minutes of functional movements. I
Right.
apologize. Something happened with my Zoom. So our tech crew, Robert Schlumsky, is going to have to piece this back together, which he's a PhD in engineering and a super genius, and he'll be able to do this for sure.
I'm sure of it.
So we were talking since just about changes, right? And so we both noticed these weight changes, different goals this time. Um, I stayed a little heavier, but I noticed my endurance was just as good. My strength was much better. My energy levels were actually better staying a little heavier. Um, and I guess in general, like I looked just the same when I took my shirt off, which Christine never complains when I take my shirt off. My wife never complains when I take it off. So um
Nice
uh
problem to have. Speaking of Christine, I want to shout. We mentioned we wanted to shout out to some folks that are playing along with us. I guess, of course, you're number one because we're co-conspirators in this.
right.
You help inspire me to do this and help me keep accountable. And uh, maybe there's a little friendly competition there with us, but it helps make it even better. I would say number two for me in terms of daily life is my wife Pam, who played along. She was wonderful. She cooperates in the kitchen, eats pretty much the same diet I do when I go on these hard 75s or hard 90s. Um, and we take pride in our workouts. That lady does 3 to 5 hours of high speed Obi-Wan Kenobi housekeeping every day, which is like a mini marathon. And then she comes to JMac, right? Or goes on these harebrained hikes or whatever. So I shout out to Pam for being just an absolute rock and a rock star when it comes to this stuff.
Yeah, and you mentioned Christine. For me, the joy of doing it together, I really like doing the outdoor stuff with her, the hikes. Um, it's funny how when we started, in the beginning of the hike, you're always tired. And by the end of the time we're done it, we're like chit chatting. We get in the house, we're happy, like sleep way better that day. Like, she also holds me accountable. Obviously there's moments where your discipline wanes. There's no way you're going to do 90 days of something. But when you have somebody who's accountable living with you, who's like, hey, we didn't walk, like, let's go. Like, sometimes it's walking 10 o'clock at night after a punch, kick, choke, chat episode where, like, out in the dark, like,
Hmm.
wandering through a snow. It's awesome to do that with her. Uh,
Y- y-
I do also want to mention a couple of other people. One is our buddy over in Sweden, Mike Wall,
Mike
who
Wall.
that guy's a rock star, man. That guy's a machine, and it's just so cool how martial arts transcends every. And when you do some cool shit, people are willing to jump on the boat with you. And he's one of those guys who does it. I just love that guy.
Yeah, 100%, man. We're so great. It's so great that we got to meet him, train with him when he came to Capital Conquest, and now we've maintained this friendship, which is awesome. Um, a good friend of our family, Carrie Shahoti, is awesome farm lady, dance instructor, pioneer woman who lives about 20 minutes outside of town here. She, as far as I know, has been playing along with the Hard 90 as have we. And she's kind of like Pam in a way because she's out there all day dealing with the cows, the pigs, the chickens, and then goes and teaches dance class at night and just stays super healthy. I love the fact that we've got this community of people, some of who aren't even in the martial arts, doing this stuff with us.
How about Chris Culver pulling 500 pounds? The guy pulled 500 pounds as a goal in hard 90. Like
Amazing.
super awesome human being. And he says doing this has transformed his life and his martial arts by doing this with us. So that's a big positive. I want to also do a shout out to my son, Stephen Hussey, mine and Christine's son. Christine chatted with him and said, "Hey, listen, I think this would be good for you." Before the 90 hard, he was running and rucking and doing stuff for school goals. And yeah, he just came along, quietly trudged along. He's not a super chatty guy, quietly trudged along, never bitched, never complained, just did all the shit. Just super proud of that guy, like totally outside of his comfort zone.
Yeah, I have absolutely loved seeing his evolution over the last couple of years. And I think great things are in store for a kid like that who can change how he interacts with the universe, get himself in shape, build disciplined habits. He's a smart kid, and he's learning how to work hard and just apply himself. I think there's great things in his future.
The last one I want to give a shout out to is um, which is multi-time world kickboxing champion Brad Fowler. He's the one 4 years ago. He challenged you and I to join in on it. We raised some money for Big Brothers and Big Sisters back then. Um, but that guy's a beast too, man. Just total animal when it comes to physical fitness and training and loves that stuff.
Yeah, for sure. We've only got, I don't know, about 5 minutes left before we got to close this chat, but I just wanted to mention and have us chat a little bit about the idea of, how has regular life changed because of these things, right? I can kick it off by just saying, every time we do one of these, more of the habits stick. It's so natural now to pay attention to the structure, the composition of my diet, to eat a protein forward diet, take my supplements, make sure I'm hydrating. And honestly, I love, cocktails, but it's become it's become trivial not to drink for a month, 3 months, whatever. And there's a lot of health benefits to that. But I want to hear kind of what has changed for you.
Yeah, for me, that's one of the ones, Sensei. I just got to be honest. I really like the beer. But the one thing I've learned is that overindulging in things like that, poison basically, it affects your life for the next 24, 72 hours for sure. Like, and you can feel that. Like, there's been no waking up over 90 days where fogginess or that. And so for me, that's one of those things I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna continue this month. We're off. I'm gonna have a couple of cocktails. I'm gonna eat some donuts. I'm going to. But the one thing that is cool is you start looking forward to the rigor of this. And I'm going to do every other month like I did last year. I'm going to do every other
Mhm.
month where I look forward to the rigor of that. And what I really like about it is the first 3 days into it, you can feel the cognitive benefits. You can feel like your energy levels just, and like you said, like before this, I don't know if I was as in tune with my mental, physical, and spiritual self as so many times now. To just feel the difference and know it's coming, like have confidence that it's coming. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. This is something I'm going to have to work out, and it's a long-term personal development struggle. Um, I love cocktails. I love the relaxation that comes with them. I like the socializing that comes with them. But I do so much work on supplementation, diet, exercise, sleep habits, cognitive habits, and it's like working really hard to take 7 steps forward and then taking one or two back. And, I don't see myself quitting cocktails, but I really got to make sure that I'm keeping that balance in mind because it's silly to scuttle all that hard work. And I'm doing the hard work because I love life and I love being alert and awake and energetic. So I don't know where that's going. Definitely going to have a margarita or two tonight. But in the long term, I'm going to keep this dialed in, man.
um, yeah, for me, that's like, you work really hard to finally balance your budget. And then for a month, you're like, yeah, I'm just going to overspend this month, right? Like that's kind of where we are, right?
Right.
You don't want to give any of that back. But I guess you got to keep a balanced life. As we end this, Sensei, I want quickly a couple of thoughts on a lot of people think we're crazy for doing this thing. And I'd like some speculation from you on why people think we're crazy. Like, what is it about um, other people that think this is such a crazy hard thing to do in this
Yeah.
generation?
Yeah. I'm just guessing because I really truly intuitively do not understand those people. Um, so this is just a fun conversation. If I had to guess, I just think it's intimidating to people. They see something and it's so different from what they do, or they just can't perceive themselves doing the same thing. So they think, oh my gosh, right? I don't understand that. It's different than me. It must be crazy. Like, what are those guys trying to do? Um, but it seems much closer to normal to me now than the activities of about 80% of the people that I see anywhere on the internet or meet in the store, right? It seems much healthier, much more normal to me now. So either they're wrong or I'm a little crazy.
Yeah, I think if you went back even 2 generations, what we're doing for 90 days wouldn't even be considered that rough. Like if you go back 2, 3 generations, it wouldn't even be
Hmm.
considered rough. And I think that's why people think it's crazy because it indicates to me we're living in hey, thankfully, like a really safe, comfortable time where natural resources and things that we need available all around us. And when you do stuff like this, it shakes that paradigm a little bit for people where they're like, what do you mean? I don't get to just sit on my warm sofa and binge Netflix. I got to go walk in that snowstorm and I got to go do, which that would have been normal three generations ago. It wouldn't have even been a thought. It would have just been a thing that you were just going to do. Um, so I just think it's because of the way the world is today that people think it's crazy. Um, that
Yeah, could be
thinks
right.
it's truly crazy. Yeah.
Yep, yep. Well, we'll have to figure out what we're going to do next and let everybody know about it next time we talk on Punch, Kick, Choke, Chat.
Robert Chomsky, Andre Sedashev, Justin Shea, Mike Russell, Josh Kitchens, Daniel Holland, Christiana Landel, Emily Ruth Driscoll, and Stavros Stravulius and Drudy Giuliani, who help us make this show work. It doesn't work without them. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Sensei, for your time this morning.
Thanks, everybody. See ya.